They are not scared of Julius Malema. They are scared of an independent black man who's not controlled by any white person, who's not controlled by London. The only
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again and welcome back to the channel. It's always an honor to have you stop by to check out what we have to do. Before we get started with this vlog, I just want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching Mr. J from, and good night, man. I know some people might be some part of the world, it might already be late at night. And I'm always happy when you stop by and when I see the comments that you guys leave, man. It keeps Mr. J pushing and trying to drop more. And on this vlog, man, I want us to talk about this is gonna be a question. Who is that African politician you know that can actually make the West, especially Europeans, tremble if he gets to power? Who comes to mind for you? Before we do get started, do not forget, man, hey, try to be part of the family, man. It will definitely be an honor for you to be part of the family. And for all those who want to join, you can join, man. Hey, a donation of maybe $1, $2 is gonna go a long way. Think about doing that. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and give us that thumbs up. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us talk about politics in Africa. And given that everything in Africa nowadays is embellished, all politicians, man, I bet you that 99% of politicians from across Africa, they are all embellished in this whole corruption, embezzlement, capital flight of their people, tribalism, nepotism. And we all know that different countries in Africa, they have their own lapses and their own issues. But there's one thing that is very constant when it comes to politics in Africa. The political elites, it really doesn't matter what part of Africa you're from, north, south, east, west, center, it really doesn't matter. All of these politicians, they get to power, they get into government just to enrich themselves and their families. Now, albeit saying all of these things, man, there are some politicians that are, I'm talking about nowadays, I'm not talking about throwback or back in the days politicians. There are some politicians who today, if they are given some kind of power to actually speak for the continent, I bet you that, man, the Europeans will tremble, and then I bet you that the West and its allies will be very careful the way they deal with Africa. And I just want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, there's no other politician that comes to my mind as the South African Julius Malema, the EFF guy. Yes, man, I've been reading about this man's life. I've been reading about this man's trajectory to where he is today, and I can boldly tell you that when you look at Africa today, when you look at politics in Africa today, there are few politicians, if they give them some kind of power to speak for the continent, they are going to put the white man to shame. Yes, let me just say that. They are going to put colonizers to shame, and they are going to do it so effortlessly. It's going to wow you. A whole lot of things will change. The relationship between Africa and Europe and the West is going, the dynamics will change enormously. Now, I don't know which other politicians in the continent that you can talk of right now. I'm not talking about scholars. I'm talking about politicians. Now, I know that there's a saying that a prophet is never ever welcome in his own homeland. And it is rather unfortunate that in South Africa, man, our brothers and sisters in South Africa have been sold to this whole notion that, you know what, certain people cannot attain or cannot uplift them unless these folks have some kind of connection with their colonizers. Which is why today, man, this man has been putting them a good fight. That political party in South Africa is one of those parties that I used to think that if everybody wants to drop off the ANC, they will go to the EFF, because this man has been very, very consistent with his messaging. It has not changed. I want everybody to be equal in this country we call the Rainbow Nation. We cannot be a rainbow nation where one light, one color in the rainbow is shining bright. One race is handling everything. They own all the lands, man. They are economic powers. I just want to say this, man. I'm open for any debate, and I want you to chime in and let me know which politician to you, when it comes to Africa, that can actually make the West tremble. Think about Julius Malema rising to be the chair of the African Union. Think about this brother or this man rising up to be at the level, the African Union ambassador to the UN. Think about the ideologies that this man has. Now, I know that a whole lot of our colonizers, they don't like this brother. But there is an interview that this man did a while ago, and somebody shared that with me. And I want you to watch, and I want you to understand it, and then we will talk about it. Watch this interview.
Many white South Africans who fear Julius Malema. Some of them have said to me, if Malema gets to power or close to power, I will leave this country. Do you welcome their fear, or do you want to find ways to overcome their fear?
I don't welcome their fear. Stephen, they said that about Mandela, the most celebrated Mandela. You're talking about me. They said if Mandela, a prisoner, becomes the president, who will live in this country, and they left. I was in the Vaal River the other day, looking at some of the houses that whites abandoned in 1994 when Mandela became a president. They are not scared of Julius Malema. They are scared of an independent black man who's not controlled by any white person, who's not controlled by London. The only thing you can keep on referring to is what you interviewed me about it 12 years ago. Get something new, my brother.
No, I'm very...
Show a skill of a hard-working presenter who does his research. You can't falter me. Since I've made my mistakes on text when I was very young, when I was almost 27 years old, fixed that problem. Today, I'm a 42-year-old married man with children who has taken responsibility and built a solid party to be the third largest party without the support of white monopoly capital and the owners of the South African economy. You keep on referring to old and old things because you are now beginning to sound like a scratched CD.
You have every right to tell me you have changed.
Tell me of me now.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, first of all, I want to say this. Why is it that some of these Western media, these journalists working for some of these Western medias, they always try to make a strong black man look like he is the problem? And no, let's just say this, man. This man directly answered this guy's question. The truth is, if you go way back in the history of the relationship between Africa and the West, especially Europeans, you will see that any strong, independent black man who ever came up, leader, activist, these guys always blackball them. They always make him to look like the villain, because this is that person that is not going to sit down and watch a colonial, an imperialist, get rich or becomes or feels like they are superhuman to a fellow black brother and sister. Which is why this man has been speaking vehemently against the whole xenophobic attacks that our black brothers and sisters down South Africa always like to make on some of these brothers and sisters from different parts of Africa. Now let me say this. It is very, very true that these folks, like these journalists for these peons for these Western media houses, they always try to make you look like the bad person. There is absolutely nothing wrong if for some reason this man becomes the president of that beautiful country and then you guys go away, because we know that some of you guys, you are only there to promote your own culture amongst yourself. There's nothing wrong in promoting your culture, but it is rather unfortunate that most of these foreigners in Africa, they always try to promote everything in between themselves, and they try to kick out those who belong to the land. I'm not going to say a whole lot. I want you to leave a comment and let me know. Do you think that if for some reason down the road this guy becomes the chairperson for the African Union, or this guy becomes an ambassador of the African Union to maybe the European Union or to the United Nations, how do you see the dynamics playing out? And I still do not understand why our black brothers and sisters in South Africa hate this guy so bad, whereas this is the guy that is really out there to help these folks. But hey, that's my time, and leave a comment, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, man. Hey, spit it out. Let's have a conversation down the comment section. Stay blessed, and I hope you did join the family. Hit that subscribe button and share. Give us that thumbs up. Be good and have a great day. Peace.